Hey, what's up, Visionaries? Welcome back to the Arc Vision Fan Jam. My name is Anton. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day, because it is either Throwback Thursday, Turnback Tuesday, or Sentimental Sunday, and today's song request comes from Merrick and Paul Calabrese, and apparently this is the best version of Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, so we're going to do it. And before we get into this, I do want to say you guys rock. Thank you for all love and all the support. Also, if you guys are resonating with the channel, definitely smash the like button on this video if you enjoyed at the end of the video. And definitely subscribe, join the family if you like what we're doing around here. Also, if you want to support the channel and request songs like Merrick and Paul did, and request albums for us to react to, like I think we're doing right now with Starset, definitely join everyone in the Patreon family and leave all of your requests there. As always, shout out to you guys, my patrons. Thank you so much for keeping this vision, this dream alive and growing. And yeah, thank you. And as always, keep song requests coming. Lastly, if you want to get your hands on official merchandise and check my podcast, links to those down below. And lastly, if you guys want to hang out with myself and the entire Arc Vision community, we are on Discord nowadays. Link down below. And that's it. So without further ado, let's get into Fleetwood Mac, Rhiannon.
I read the name of it in a just a novel. I really liked it. I thought that's really a beautiful name. Sat down. About 10 minutes later, wrote Rhiannon. We think that she was in fact queen, and that her memory became the myth. I definitely feel that there's a presence in her.
This is a song about a Welsh witch. Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night. Wouldn't you love her? She rules her life like a dirty flight. Who will be her lover? Well, your life you've never seen. Come on, taken by the wind. Would you stay as you promised? Do you never? Will you
bitchy. Whoa. Very theatrical. Sensual.
Dreams unwind, love's a state of mind. Oh, now you know that your dreams unwind, love's a state of mind.
Look at her eyes.
I know you know that your dreams unwind, love is hard to find. You know, dreams unwind is still a state of mind. I know. Dreams unwind and love is hard to find. Dreams unwind is still a state of mind. Take me like the wind now, take me where the sky goes. Take me like the wind, baby, take me where the sky goes. All the same, all the same, all the same, Rhiannon. All the same, all the same, all the same. You take me with you on the
Yo, I got chills. Wow. Now that's why they're considered one of the best rock bands in history. Fleetwood Mac is on another level. It's like, man, there's so many things I wanted to say. Like, first of all, it's just everybody in the band is so talented. Like when you saw the guitarist Lindsey Buckingham, when he was like, doing vocals and everything, doing backup vocals. You have the pianist who's doing background vocals. You have Stevie, who's just a magnificent singer. And then like it's interesting too because I love it. I love it when artists, they make their live show something completely unique to the original. Or like in this, like it's interesting hearing her say that this song is like this song is about a Welsh witch. And then the song kind of like, she seemed like she was enchanted, like she was possessed. Where that gets really interesting too, because I've commonly said that I feel like music, like I feel like we're channels to like a higher I don't know if you want to call it a realm, but like when I think about art, I find art is interesting because there's times where if I'm in a podcast or if I'm like doing a video and it's just beyond me. There's times where it just feels like there's like just another presence in the room. Like these are like on the best videos I've ever done. Most of the time it's not that. Like most of the time I'm in my own head and I'm blocking my own kind of channel, right? But there's some videos I've made, like, Johnny Cash's Hurt, Avril Lavigne's Head Above Water, and a couple other ones where it just feels like what I'm saying isn't coming from me. It feels like it's like I'm just an outlet for ideas to come through me to, be passed on to you guys. And I didn't realize this was happening until I did a DMT trip one time. And I remember DMT only lasts like 15 minutes, but when it's over, there's about 10 minutes where you're like very lucid and you're like, I remember I recorded it actually. I recorded 10 minutes of me speaking like fucking nonsensical gibberish out loud to the shaman who's with me. And I was coming up with ideas that like I've never even thought about, ideas that I don't think I have the means to articulate or even contemplate. And I was coming up with all these kind of things. And then in that moment, like when I look back, when I listen to that recording, which I only have once, and it was near after because I wanted to kind of figure out what I was thinking. I was curious if some of it was like from a subconscious level, collective unconscious. You get into kind of Carl Jung territory about where do ideas even come from. But when I was listening to that, I'm like, that wasn't me. That didn't feel like Anton. That felt like something else. That felt like the spirit of DMT in some weird way that was coming through me. It's like because my consciousness was so malleable in that moment when you're kind of coming out of a trip, it felt like I was just like this clearing where ideas could come through me and I could just speak them. Because obviously, if let's say there is ideas, how are they articulated into the real world? How are they manifested if they can't speak? The air can't speak, the wind can't speak. It's like when people talk about, oh, I heard a voice, it's our pattern recognition in our brain that picks up a sonic frequency and then we interpret it. So any like language, any idea that comes through has to be interpreted through the human mind before it can come in. So it's almost like, there's an author, Alan Moore. He's a brilliant author, one of my favorite authors of all time. And he had this idea that there are like ideas and stuff. And they're almost like things. They're almost like entities in other dimensions or whatever. And they use us as a way of bringing themselves into this reality. Because, like, for example, like, you get one of his books like V for Vendetta, right? And then now you see Anonymous utilizing the V for Vendetta masks and everything. So he kind of sees it in a way like the idea used him to create itself in this physical reality. And so like where I'm kind of going with this is I feel like I've been kind of used like by an idea in some ways. And then, like I said, some of these videos, like even actually right now, at the beginning, I wasn't tapping into that, but like kind of right there, that idea, train of thought kind of thing, it felt very lucid. Like it was just kind of coming through. And then now I'm thinking about it and I'm fucking it up, but I had it there for a second. But, yeah, so it's like we're kind of used by ideas. And then when I am at my best in these videos, some people are like, oh, I like the way you think. Well, it's like you're kind of giving me a compliment for me just being a clearing for something else. The compliment is being given to the idea, the thought form, the idea form in its base level. And then I'm just an articulate channeler. And it's like, it's sometimes if an idea would choose a host to bring itself out, then the question, and this is even if this is a thing or not, this could be horseshit and I could be just fucking high as hell right now. Or at least using an idea from when I was high. But yeah, it's like, why would an idea choose a specific host? Because obviously we all have gifts, we all have weaknesses. And it's like, obviously there are certain authors, public speakers, articulators, where articulation is their strong suit. So if an idea wants to be articulated in a certain way, it would try to almost like possess a host who can match its kind of frequency and its vision best. So you have almost like, let's say you have J.R. Tolkien or something, right? It's like almost, why did the idea of Lord of the Rings choose J.R. Tolkien? Because he had the best means of expressing that idea, the most diluted sense. He could get out of its way the most and present Lord of the Rings in the best possible way. And then, again, this is just an idea. Who knows what the fuck's going on in our heads? But there's definitely, it feels weird sometimes if you're a creative person, you're listening to me right now, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people who aren't it's like, I don't even believe that there's like creative people and non-creative people. I think that all people are creative. I just think that what we perceive as a creative person is someone who's able to get out of their own way and just have a clear channel for the muse to come through or whatever. And this is where it gets to this song, where like in this song, it seemed like you know, Stevie was possessed. Like, she was such a clear channel for this performance. It's almost like she had to get out of her way completely for this performance to even occur. Because it didn't seem like she was aware of what she was doing. She was like lost in this performance, and it created this impeccable experience, this impeccable experience, performance, whatever you want to call it. But it looked like she was being possessed by a Welsh witch. Like, literally, it felt like she was like a witch here, having like an exorcism or whatever. But anyway, this was incredible. So far, out of what we've heard by Fleetwood Mac, oh man, Dreams was amazing too. I don't know what I like more, Dreams or Rhiannon. I think both of these are incredible songs. And both of them are just so moody and atmospheric. I like the ending of this song where she like loses it. That's cool. That's special, I feel. But Dreams is just incredible too. Again, Fleetwood Mac is just next level. These guys are just, the way they can just, you know, create this experience. And you know what, part of me wants to go like, hey, like, you know, I apologize if I went too esoteric, but you know what, fuck it. Like, you guys are, you know, you guys are mature enough. You guys can figure out what you believe and what you don't believe in. If you're very kind of on the scientific side of things and not into much of the spirituality shit, cool. That's totally cool. You know, I'm sure there's another way to look at what I just said from a more kind of materialistic perspective. And again, who the fuck knows who's right and who's wrong? It doesn't really matter. It's the experience that matters, and kind of the experiences of human beings. And then if you are kind of more on the kind of spiritual Buddhist side or whatever, then you really dug what I just said, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? I feel like, so, you know, for so much of my life, man, like my mom raised me like pretty much Buddhist, by like, you know, when I was like 14 and stuff. So I've been into this shit. I've been open to this kind of stuff for a long time, and I hit it a lot when I was in high school and college, and you know, I did my best to try to be normal. You know, I did my best to try to fit in, and I cast a lot of this kind of, what this is for me is a curiosity. I'm just very curious about the nature of ideas, the nature of kind of reality, and what this whole thing that we're taking part in is. And yeah, I don't know. As a last kind of 2 years, I've just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm done running away from, you know, who I am. Like, this is the shit I'm into. You know, this is the stuff that comes to me. And, you know, I'm very aware that some of you guys are gonna love that side of me, and others are it's just gonna be not your thing. And it's cool. As I always say, those that are still watching the video dig it, and, you know, I love you guys, you're the best. And then those that turn this off because they're losing interest, totally cool too. You know, that's the great thing about reactions, is that you guys can get the reaction, the 4-minute, 5-minute reaction, and then those that want to stay for the conversation can stay for the conversation. Like, that's just one thing I'm realizing with all of this, is that, you know, I'm not going to censor myself. I'm not going to hold myself back of what I think and what comes through me, because yeah, there are people out there that really vibe with what, you know, the full extent of who I am. And that's what this is about. That's what this was always about. It was finding like-minded people. It was giving people another perspective, because I know if you guys, you know, that are still listening are anything like me, you felt very isolated and alone for the first half of your life, because you didn't find many people that kind of looked at life the same way you did. And hopefully with my content and stuff, hopefully I'm just one person that you can connect with and make you feel like you're not batshit crazy and insane. And that, you know, this content resonates, because I know with podcasts and stuff, I listen to podcasts all the time, because I remember when I was in New Zealand, I felt really alone, you know, just kind of going from hostel to hostel. Like there'd be a month or two where I didn't feel like I was having like a meaningful conversation. I didn't feel like I was sharing anything real or deep or authentic about myself with other people. And I didn't feel like I was having any, you know, real conversations. And I remember just craving podcasts. I remember just craving, you know, Joe Rogan or Aubrey Marcus or Paul Chek, or, you know, just any of these kind of more deeper thinkers. And, you know, I take it for granted, because the friends I have around me are all like me, and we all kind of share this. We are free to express ourselves in whatever way we want. And I've had, you know, lovers in the past and stuff, and partners where, you know, they've also been really into this. So I've found my my tribe, you know, and I'm just hoping that any of you who haven't yet, hopefully this is the beginning of you finding yours. Like, hopefully I'm a conduit where I can open you up to a whole new group of people who think the same way you do. And yeah, in some way, you know, that's why I do this stuff, you know. Obviously, it's an outlet for my creativity, it's an outlet for my curiosity, but above me, it's an outlet for all of our, you know, connection in a world that, you know, a lot of us feel alone and isolated. And yeah, you know, hopefully this matters to somebody, you know, not because not because I need it to, not because it's a fucking ego boost, but just, I don't know, there's so much fucking pain and isolation in the world. And yeah, I know connection's powerful. I know, like, finding like-minded people can be the difference between, you know, to be dramatic, like life and death sometimes, you know. I can only imagine going through my entire life never feeling like I connect with anybody. That'd be hell. Yeah, that'd be hell. So anyway, what do you guys think of this one? I loved it. This was incredible. Do you agree with Merrick and Paul that this is the best performance of Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac? Because obviously my mom loved Rhiannon growing up. She loved Fleetwood Mac growing up. So that's where I've heard a lot of Fleetwood Mac. I never really listened to them too much by myself, but kind of being around my mom growing up, you know, my dad would sometimes play these songs at parties and stuff when he was having get-togethers. There was kind of the dinner music and stuff, and you know, I never knew all the names of the songs and stuff, but every time Fleetwood Mac would come on, I'd always say, hey, what is this? And then when I got old enough to realize what Fleetwood Mac was, I'd know. But yeah, these people are just, Fleetwood Mac is just stellar musicians. And all the times they've been on the radio, like every time Fleetwood Mac comes on, I never turn it off. Like, I just think they're, I don't know why I don't listen to them more, but I guess maybe some things are meant to be cherished, not overindulged in. Because I find there's some songs that I listen to where on first listen they make me cry, and then by the time I listen to them 100 times, I'm numb to what they really are. They're just an icon. They're just an idea more than an actual experience, because I'm no longer experiencing it in the moment. I'm no longer actually swept up in the song. It's just background noise. Even if I'm listening to it intently, it just becomes noise, and sometimes you have to have a step away from this stuff and bring it back into your life to see it with fresh new eyes, to be moved by what it really is, because this stuff is incredible, especially, like I said, Fleetwood Mac and stuff. So anyway, what are your top 3 favorite Fleetwood Mac songs so far? I think Rhiannon's number 1. Number 2 is Dreams, I think. I don't know. I don't even know what number 3 would be. Have to listen to more Fleetwood Mac to figure that out. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you are still kicking around here, definitely smash the like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Also, what artists do you guys want to see back on the channel next week, like Merrick and Paul did for Fleetwood Mac? Let me know in the Discord. Leave your song suggestions there. Obviously, to do that, you have to get Patreon access. You know the fun stuff. Also, if you guys want to support the channel at the same time, request songs like Merrick and Paul, and albums for us to react to, like we're doing a Star Set right now, definitely join the Patreon family and leave your requests there. Shout out to my patrons. You guys are the best. You guys know that, though. Keep the song requests coming. Lastly, if you want to check out my podcast and get your hands on official merchandise, links down below. Lastly, if you want to hang out with myself and the entire Archvision community, we're on Discord nowadays. Find us there. And that's it. So I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. I love you. Peace.